My college years were memorable chapters in my life. During this time, I met my first girlfriend. I met Jody in 1992, and she became my girlfriend that same year. We were both students at a well known university here in Manila. Her family was in Pampanga, thus, due to the distance between her home and our campus, she chose to rent a boarding house nearby. One Saturday afternoon, I picked up Jody from her boarding house, and we went to a cinema not far from where she stayed. After watching the movie and having a stroll and dinner, I dropped her off at her boarding house. Unfortunately, the door was locked, and it was Mang Jess, the owner of the adjoining eatery, approached us. He told us that the landlady had directed him to inform Jody that she would be heading to a nearby market with her board mates. Since it was already 7 p.m., I decided to accompany her. We hung out and sat on the stairs near the boarding house's entrance. We chatted and smoked while waiting for her board mates. The place we were sitting was quite dimly lit, so I decided to play a prank on her. In the middle of our conversation, I pointed upstairs, or to the stairs leading to the second floor of the boarding house, and said, "Did you see that?" Pretending to be terrified. To my surprise, her eyes widened after I pointed upstairs, and a few seconds later, she ran out of the boarding house gate. I followed her and found her sitting on the pavement, shaking from fright. I approached her and jokingly stated, "I was just kidding. There's no ghost."
What do you mean no ghost?
Jody responded angrily.
I saw a woman in white, crying blood, staring at me as she descended the stairs.
Our relationship lasted for over a year, but there were disagreements between Jody and me, so she decided we should break up. But the truth was, she had someone else in mind. Instead of wallowing in self pity and blame, which could lead to depression, I accepted my defeat and left our shattered world. I learned to interact with other people, and I met Nancy. We met during a birthday celebration of a mutual friend. She was studying commerce at a nearby university. I quickly developed feelings for her, so I courted her. And after 3 months, we became a couple. Her family lived in Tarlac, so because of the distance from her university, she stayed in a nearby dormitory during that time. The dormitory started accepting tenants 3 years after World War II. The dormitory had a strong foundation and was well maintained and managed by its caretakers. So it was still a safe place to live in during that time. The dormitory had 4 floors. The ground floor consisted of a living room where visitors could wait and a terrace or veranda where people could smoke. The next floor, or the mezzanine, had a kitchen and dining area. The third floor had 6 large rooms, serving as bedrooms for the tenants and caretakers of the dormitory. There were 5 to 6 tenants in one room. At the end of it was a staircase leading to an attic that used to be a storage area but was converted into a bedroom because of the increasing number of tenants. Sometimes it was used as a place for female tenants to secretly drink alcohol. One Friday afternoon, I had just finished my English class and I had 2 hours to spare before my next class. I decided to hang out at a nearby sari sari store to smoke with my classmates and friends. While hanging out at the store, Nancy's roommate called me and told me to go to the dormitory immediately because they found Nancy unconscious, lying on the floor near the veranda. I rushed to the dormitory. When I arrived at the dormitory, I saw Nancy on the veranda, looking tired as if she had just woken up. She was with her roommates and the landlady who was helping her. She was sitting while being given water and having her back rubbed. I didn't immediately ask what happened. When her other dormitory mates and the landlady returned to their respective rooms, leaving only one of her roommates with us, Nancy willingly explained why she lost consciousness. According to Nancy, she was already in her uniform and was just applying makeup when she noticed that her mascara was already empty. She decided to borrow from an acquaintance who was renting a room upstairs. As she walked the stairs to that room, she was surprised to see a man standing almost 3 steps away from the room upstairs. He was wearing white clothes, shiny white pants, and slippers, and it was evident that he was Chinese because of his physical appearance. However, he had a physical feature that was not normal or unusual. Aside from his filthy feet that seemed to have just come out of a pig pen, the sunlight streaming through the window seemed to pass through other areas of the man's body. The man just stared at the ceiling with a grin that almost reached his ears. Nancy had experiences with the supernatural, such as sensing things in other ways like the visit of her deceased relatives in her dreams or sudden smells of a sampaguita flower or other florals usually present during a funeral. If it were optical experiences, it would only be momentary, like seeing something out of the corner of her eye. Instead of being scared, Nancy's curiosity prevailed, perhaps because it was a rare opportunity to face a being or possibly a ghost like this. She tried to approach and go straight to the man to find out if it was true that people or other solid things could pass through a ghost. However, before her body could come into contact with the being, the man's hands immediately extended over her shoulders. His grin turned into a frown, and his staring eyes fixed on her. And then she woke up surrounded by her dormitory mates while being assisted and fed. The dormitory security guard mentioned that he saw Nancy lying on the veranda. Additionally, he did not see Nancy cross the porch and descended the stairs. Rather, it seemed as though she had materialized out of thin air. After Nancy narrated the incident, her dormitory mate confirmed that there were indeed supernatural events happening in their place. Nancy's dormmate, who happened to be one of the tenants on the upper floor, recounted her own experience. This happened the previous day when she entered her room. She saw Jody, her roommate, and yes, my ex girlfriend, lying on the bed, eyes wide open, tongue sticking out as if being strangled or having an epileptic attack. She immediately approached her to wake her up because she suspected she might be having a nightmare. Before she could touch Jody, she suddenly sat up, coughed, and rubbed her neck. When she came to her senses, she mentioned that she was already awake and just thankful that someone entered her room and approached her immediately. Jody mentioned that she was alone in the room before it happened and decided to read a pocketbook while lying down. A few minutes later, the room grew very chilly and she felt something on her chest. A woman, dressed in white, with bloodshot eyes and what appeared to be dried tears on her cheeks. She suddenly strangled her, and she initially thought it was a crazy person who entered the room. But when her dorm mate approached her, the woman disappeared.